how I got into photography and videography. I grew up with two older brothers. Both of them were sportsy, but I did the music and artsy-fartsy type stuff. The first photography-related memory I have was when I lived in Holiday, Texas as a 10-year-old, taking my mom's film camera and a toy T-Rex, walking to the backyard, laying in the dirt, and making it look as though the toy Rex was bigger than my house. Beyond that, I never really did much with photography. Not in junior high, not in high school, not in college. Fast forward to 2012, I graduated from OC with a bio degree, get married, and a few short months later, Carmen and I moved to Japan. But before I left, I remembered about a semester abroad that I had in 2010 and how I had wished that I'd had a good camera to take photos with. So, I buy this camera, the Nikon J1. Back in Japan now. This is where I fell in love with photography. You see, Carmen and I traveled a lot. Seriously, we went all over Japan. And as we traveled, I tried to document as much as I could. Historic places, people, animals, still life, music scenes, culture. I really tried to take advantage of being outside of Oklahoma. I think it really spurred me to get off my butt and be very intentional about developing my skills as a photographer. 1 year into our life abroad, in a travel gear company, Tom Ben shoots me an email saying, "We love your work. What do you think about taking photos for us professionally in exchange for free gear?" And so, of course, I said yes. So from then on, I started looking at photography as a potential career path. I started listening to photography podcasts, I read photography books, I watched a million YouTube tutorials, I upgraded to a DSLR, the Nikon D7100, and I bought a MacBook Pro so I could edit. So a year goes by where I'm shooting almost daily. Carmen and I decide 2 years in Japan is enough, and I begin looking for jobs. Now, I didn't know which job I was going to get whenever we moved back to Japan. I just spent the last 2 years teaching, and I really fell in love with teaching, but I'd also fallen in love with photography, and I didn't know which career path I was going to take. Teaching, photography, ministry, McDonald's, I didn't know. I was open to whatever was going to happen, and basically whoever would interview me. 3 months prior to us moving back to America, I make a portfolio website featuring all the stuff that I did in Japan, masondrum.com. I write up a resume and send it out. We fly back to America, and 3 days after we land in Oklahoma, I have an interview at Webcom for a university photography position. So for the last year, I've been working as a full-time photographer for the University of Oklahoma. I recently got moved over to the video team, and yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm excited to see what the future holds. Okay, that's the story. That's how I got into photography and videography.